In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the factory mirrors on this Ford Excursion and upgrade them for some tow mirrors. I'm also going to show you how to install this adapter harness, which you will need to replace them with these mirrors. Otherwise, you won't be able to plug them in. Let's get started. Using a plastic trim tool, go up to the sail panel right here on the corner and pry it off gently. You don't want to break anything. Once that pops off, let's move down to the mirror switch. We'll do the same thing with a plastic trim tool. Just pry it upwards until it pops out. And on the back side, if you spin it, you'll see all of the electrical connectors that we have to unplug. Pressing onto their locking tabs, wiggle them and pull them out of their spot. They only plug into one slot, so you don't have to worry about accidentally putting them in the wrong place or remembering where they go. And last one for the mirror switch. Set this switch aside. Now with the switch out of the way, we can see a 7mm bolt that we can undo with a 7mm socket. That'll release the door panel at the top. At the bottom of the door, you'll see this lens that covers up another mounting screw for our door. Pry it off with a little screwdriver. And behind it, you'll see not only the courtesy light bulb, but also a 7mm screw. Remove that. Now we're going to lift up on the door panel and pull it off of the door. Turn this counterclockwise and pull this out. To unbolt the mirror at this point, we have to peel this piece of insulation away. Set that aside. This exposes two mounting nuts. The other two are going to be right behind these two rubber grommets, one here and one up here. This one in the center can stay on, that's for something else. To get to the mirror connector, we now have to remove the speaker. It's held on with four 5.5mm screws, so let's take them all out. Peel the speaker away. Sometimes it's stuck on there with some glue, and you don't necessarily have to disconnect it because you can just set it aside right here, and the mirror connections are right here. There are two of them, two different wires if you have heated mirrors. If you don't have heated mirrors, you'll just have one connector. Regardless, we'll have to disconnect these, so press on the tab and pull that connector out, and then the other one is this one. Pull on this tab, push that connector off. Use an 11mm socket to remove the four mounting nuts holding the mirror onto the door. I'm going to leave the top one for last so that the mirror doesn't want to fall down as I unbolt these. Also, it helps to have the window open so that on the last one you can just reach over and grab it. It's helpful to have a magnet for these so you don't drop them in the door. Now grab the mirror from the outside and pull the harness through, and there is your mirror. Before installing the mirror onto the door, we have to put this foam piece on over here. This is basically a piece of insulation so that water and wind noise don't get through the mirror into the door. On the back side of it, you're going to have to peel off the cover for the glue. Then you take the foam insulation, lay it over all of the studs, and through this cut goes the harness. All right, now we can put this on the door. Put the harness through. Line up the 4 mounting studs. And have 1 mounting nut ready to tighten this up. This is going to hold it on for you while you put the other 3 on. Now with the ratchet by hand, I'm going to make sure that they're all equally tight. You want to squish that gasket. That creates a nice tight seal. I'm going to go around a few different times because as you squish the gasket, some of the hardware could loosen up. Just make sure they're all even. All right, perfect. Now we can cap this off with the 2 grommets. And if you still have this piece that has some glue left over on it, put it right back. For this tow mirror, you're going to need this adapter harness that plugs into the mirror, and then on the other side, plugs into the vehicle harness. As you can see, the connectors are different, so you can't plug it in with that. Now, if you still have your retainers that are attached to this harness, go ahead and clip them on. Mine are broken, so I'm going to carefully tuck it out of the way here where it's not going to contact the window track. Grab the speaker, put it right back into position. Start in the 4 mounting screws that hold it on. You want to make sure that these are snug, not too tight. Don't strip out the threads. But if the speaker isn't completely tight, it's going to rattle while it plays music. So I always like to tap the speaker before I close everything off, because if it does rattle, you're going to want to put some foam around it to make sure it does not. Put the door panel back on to all of the little hooks that hold it on. Make sure the lock indicator makes its way through the door panel. Tap it down. Let's reinstall the screw at the bottom. Snug it up. Put the lens over. Reinstall the screw at the top. And with that snugged up, let's reconnect all of the plugs on the master window switch. Make sure they click in. And put the switch back down, starting with the back because it has this little tab that goes in, slides backwards, tap it down at the front. Reinstall the sail panel. And there you have it. Job is done.